Hey, black man power, black woman power, black child power. It's King Leon X, the human liberator. UBVOA. This is episode 61 of Take Charge of Your Life. Say my connection week. Hold on. Say my connection week. Hold on. Let me get to a better connection. This is episode 61 of Take Charge of Your Life. I happen to just be outside in the middle of a field right now. And what we gonna talk about today? This is my midday self-mastery, self-motivation series. My midday self-mastery, self-motivation series. What we talking about today is self-imposed limitations. Kima, you ready? We about to talk about self-imposed limitations today for the people. All right, this is our concern. A lot of people, most people don't realize that the main thing that holds them back is themselves. Okay, so like I always say, the only limitation you have is the one that you set up in your own mind, or you allow others to set up for you. Hold on, I'm about to put Kima down so she can run around. Here, stand up, so she can run around. We out nature with it. I don't want her to step. I wish I would have her shoes off like mine are, but I just don't want nothing to happen to her delicate feet. Anyway, all right, so we talking about self-imposed limitations today. All right, and I'm going to mix this with a little leaders or readers challenge. So I got my two babies out. 1 and then 2. We out here with it. We out here charging up. All right, we out here. So we talking about self-imposed limitations today. Yo, Kima, you okay? That's why I make sure she has shoes on. I know there's some dips and stuff like that out here. Anyway, self-imposed limitations. This is what we're talking about. This is our concern. This is our priority. All right. The only limitations that you have is the one that you set up in your own mind, or you allow others to set up for you. It's one of my favorite books, 7 Strategies for Wealth and Happiness. Jim Rohn talks about self-imposed limitations pretty well. Okay. And so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna make this a read out loud challenge as well as a take charge of your life. Okay. Because this is something that is extremely delicate that we gotta take care of. All right. Black woman power. Yeah. Hey. All right. So to be successful, we almost work to eliminate those self-imposed limitations that are stunting our personal development. All right. That's the first point. To be successful, we must work to eliminate those self-imposed limitations that are stunting our personal development. No matter who you are, there are 3 self-imposed limitations that you have to contend with. All right, there's three main self-imposed limitations that you have to contend with. This is what we're talking about today. This is what we're going to talk about in episode 61 of Take Charge of Your Life. Here, don't try and pick her up, Kima. Here, just let her be. Just let her be. All right, you're going to drop her like you always do. Just let her be. She outside chilling. We all outside chilling. All right, cool. So we talk about the 3 self-imposed limitations that no matter who you are, no matter what your background is, no matter what area of or industry that you want to be in. Here, Kima. No matter what area that you want to be in, what area or what industry, there's 3 self-imposed limitations that you have to overcome. Okay? The first limitation is procrastination. Here, let me walk to get some service. It say my connection weak. It says my connection is weak. The first limitation is procrastination. Procrastination is especially dangerous because it's accumulating nature. When we put off a minor task, it does not seem to be that all important. And if we let a few things slide during the day, it doesn't seem like such a bad day. But let enough of those days pile up and you have the makings of a disastrous year. All right, so that's the first point we're going to talk about right now. We're going to talk about procrastination. All right, we're going to talk about procrastination, okay? We're going to talk about procrastination. That's the number one thing that stands in people's way of their success. All right, the number one thing that stands in the way of people's success is procrastination. That's the number one self-imposed limitation. No matter who you are, no matter what your area of study, no matter what your industry. Hold up. No matter what your industry, procrastination is something that you are going to have to overcome, period. Period. There's no way around it. There's no way around having to overcome procrastination. All right, that is the number one self-imposed limitation. procrastination. All right, you are your own problem and your own solution. Procrastination is a maid servant of the devil, of failure. You see, procrastination is the unlocked door to failure. You see, and the reason that procrastination is so detrimental is because it's accumulating habits. It's an accumulating habit. You put one thing off a little here, you put one thing off a little there, put one thing off there, and then next thing you know, you got a whole bunch of shit that you should have did, that you could have did, that you would have did, but you didn't do. And then now you got to start over, right? And then, all right, so that the first self-imposed limitation that we covering today that stands in the way of you and your success, the first self-imposed limitation that stands in the way of you and your success is procrastination. We all must overcome procrastination if we want to make a difference in our own life, if we want to take charge of our life, if we want to begin to serve as an inspiration to others, right? The second self-imposed limitation that we must, damn, it say my connection weak. Can y'all hear me? It's all good. It's all good. The second self-imposed limitation is blame. 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 At one point or another, all of us has blamed someone for something. We have had a long training of in this self-imposed limitation, going back to a certain fruit in the garden where man said, it was the woman. She got me into this. And the woman blamed the serpent. Why do we point fingers instead of looking within? The ego strives to defend itself. Therefore, we blame outside forces. We blame outside forces so we don't have to face our own weaknesses and failings. This must be the reason for keeping an infamous list of reasons. Everyone's got that infamous list of reasons, right? That infamous list of reasons. So if someone asks you, they ask you, hey, you live in America, you're 20-something years old. How come you're not doing well? How come you're not doing better than you're doing? They're going to have their infamous list of reasons. That's when their infamous list of reasons pops in. And it's like, hey, I'm not doing well because of this. I'm not doing well because of the government. I'm not doing well because of my childhood. I'm not doing well because I'm black and I'm born in America. I'm not doing well because white supremacy. I'm not doing well because taxes. I'm not doing well because relationship with my spouse. I'm not doing well because of my job. I'm not doing well because my boss. I'm not doing well because of traffic. I'm not doing well because I don't got enough time. I'm not doing well because chemtrails. I'm not doing well because all of these things, right? All of these things. I'm not doing well because I never met my pops. I'm not doing well because all these things, right? This is the reason, right? The original blame was, right? Adam blamed Eve. Eve blamed the serpent. Who's going to take responsibility? Who's going to take personal responsibility? Who's going to stop the blame game and turn inward? You see, who's going to say that I am the source of all my problems and all my solutions? I am my only answer that I've been seeking. You see, I got the power. I was the one who attracted myself into this detrimental situation, and I'm going to be the one who brings me out. You see, I'm the one with the problem, and I'm the one with the solution. The second self-imposed limitation is blame. Blame, blame, blame. Why does people love blaming so much? We have to give up our blame list. We talked about that, I think, episode like 12. Okay, that was one of the things, maybe episode 7, we talked about giving up that blame list. We talked about what a blame list was, and then we talked about how to eliminate that, right? Take everything off the blame list and put yourself on it. When someone asks you, what's your reason? Hey, you live in America, all right? You're 20-something years old. You've been working for some years, at least half a decade. How come you're not doing better? You say, I'm not doing better because I haven't been made aware of what I should do to be better, to become better. I haven't taken charge of my life. That would be the answer, right? The second self-imposed limitation that we have to overcome, is blame, right? I'm not here to blame. I'm not here to blame anyone. I could care less if yo, and they'd be like, yo, KLX, why you ain't take charge of your life today? Oh, I'm blaming the people. People ain't gonna watch. People not watching. People don't care about this information. Right? I could blame a whole bunch of different things. So many different things could have gotten my way before episode 61. But every single day that it was a take charge of your life supposed to be done, there was one done. Because I'm the one with the power. I control my smiles and tears. You see? One of my favorite items. One of the favorite items on Jim Rohn's blame list was the high cost of everything. And then his mentor said, it's not the cost that's your problem. It's not that it costs too much. The problem is that you can't afford it. Okay, so when you begin to take on that type of personal responsibility, when you start engaging in these types of philosophies, where it's like, yo, the problem ain't the high cost of things. The problem is that you can't afford it. You haven't figured out how to put yourself in a position to afford it. This is the issue. This is the issue that we deal with. This is what we dealing with, right? This is what we dealing with when it comes to blame and taking ownership. How do we move from blame? How do we move from our self-imposed limitations to the restoration of confidence? How do we do that? How do we do that? We have to get rid of, first off, procrastination, right? The number one self-imposed limitation is procrastination, and then the second one is blame. Blame. We have to get rid of your blame list. All right? It's never the fault of it. It's never the fault of him. It's never the fault of her. If you keep shifting responsibility to it or him or her, you will always be broke and disillusioned. You will never earn enough. But when you start thinking in the terms of me instead of it, you'll experience a surge of personal growth and income. You're the one with the problem. All right? The problems are self-imposed. We are the authors of our own destiny. The life that we live, the life that we have is the one that we accepted. Right? This is the one that we created for ourselves. We made our bed. It's time for us to lay in it. All right? It's not up for anyone else to, like, you could blame all you want. You could deflect all you want. You could tell someone, or you could say that someone else is the problem all you want. But there's no solutions coming until you take charge and you take ownership. Right? Tell them, Kima. There's no solutions coming until you take charge, until you take ownership. All right? And so that's point 2. That's the second self-imposed limitation. All right? That's the second self-imposed limitation for today. Right? We talking about self-imposed limitation. We talk about the 3 main self-imposed limitations that stand in the way of people's success. The first one was procrastination. We understand the detriment of that. The problem with procrastination is it's one of those habits that sneak up on you. You put a little off here, you put a little off there, and you make a habit of that. Next thing you know, you don't got shit done and a whole bunch to do. All right? You have to overcome procrastination in order to take charge of your life, in order to make anything, to do anything of significant difference. All right? You have to give up your blame list. All right? You have to take ownership and take full responsibility for the space that you occupy. Where your feet stand, you are the creator of that. All right? You cannot blame anyone because what you're doing is just deflecting from the true problem, from the true core of the source. You're deflecting, you're giving your power away by blaming. You're giving your power away by saying it's it or her or him. That's the problem. Okay? You're giving your power away. Understand your personal power by investigating your power to not blame, but to take ownership. All right? And then the third self-imposed limitation, yo, Kima right here, she's still rocking with us. You know, we out here all getting some of this sun in. And then we got Curve right there. You feel me? We chilling. But the third self-imposed limitation, we all familiar with this. The third self-imposed limitation is excuses. Excuses. Hold on. Let me see if I could prop this joint up somewhere, cause we gotta talk about these excuses. Black people suffer from excuse-itis. You feel me? We suffer from excuse-itis. I guess that there's nowhere I could post the phone at. It's cool. We suffer from excuse-itis. Let me go ahead and give you exactly what Jim Rohn has to say about excuses, and then I'm gonna give y'all this last little point. Excuses is the third self-imposed limitation. It's real close to blame. It's a close relative to blame. Guess how many excuses exist? Come on. Guess how many excuses exist? Guess how many good reasons exist? Right. Millions of them. And people create millions and millions of more every day in the course of their lives. In fact, people go to tremendous lengths to avoid facing the truth. The truth is that they are responsible. I guess they'd rather create a million excuses than create $1 million. I guess they'd rather create 1 million excuses than create $1 million. Black people, I guess we'd rather create 1 million excuses than to... Yo, Kima. She don't want that. It's okay, baby. She don't want that. That's not for her. It's okay. Come here. Come here. Both of y'all come here, matter of fact. Listen, people will rather make 1,000,000 excuses than to make $1 million. You can't have both. You either make money or you making excuses. You can't do both. So here's a fundamental question you must ask her. You must ask. Here's a fundamental question you must ask. What are you going to do starting today to improve yourself? All right, because listen, I'm not concerned with your money. I ain't concerned with your skills and talents if they not being used for the betterment of the black collective and period. Like, if you're not using your knowledge, your skills, your information, your resources, if you haven't committed to self-mastery, self-development, enlightenment, personal productivity, and using all of this know-how and skills, and using your freedom to help free other black people, if you're not concerned with that, then I'm not even concerned with your existence for real. Until you become concerned, until you become serious about this life, until you become serious about the place that you occupy. Because I know that if you ain't taking charge of your life, then you making excuses. I know that if you ain't taking charge of your life, then you procrastinating. I know if you ain't taking full responsibility for the space that you occupy, then you pointing blame somewhere. You pointing blame, you deflecting responsibility, you trying to find shortcuts, you trying to find a loophole to manhood, you trying to find a loophole to womanhood, you trying to find loopholes to righteousness, you trying to find loopholes to personal achievement. Listen, people go to tremendous lengths to avoid facing the truth, which is that they are responsible. I guess they'd rather create 1,000,000 excuses than create $1 million. Fundamental question to ask yourself: what are you going to do starting today to improve yourself? It really boils down to this. If you get rid of some of your self-imposed limitations, the next 5 years, if you do not get rid of your self-imposed limitations, right? If you continue to think the way that you think, if you continue to move and act the way that you have and have the current life philosophy that you do, then the next 5 years is going to be about the same as the last 5. Except for you'll be 5 years older and nowhere closer to your goal that you don't have. If you keep on doing what you're doing, you're going to keep on getting what you're getting. 5 years from now, you'll be exactly where you are right now, except for you be 5 years older and nowhere near closer to the goal that you don't even have. Frederick Douglass, what up? First comment of the day. God damn. I've been going in all day. I guess people's busy this Thursday. I guess people is busy. Okay, wait, hold on. Keep on 1 minute. Come on, baby. Here, let me just sit with you, baby. It's cool. It's cool. It's cool. Alright? So, listen. By taking responsibility and getting rid of your self-imposed limitations, you can instead make the 5 years better. The next 5 years could be the rest of your life could be the best of your life. You can become 5 years better. You feel me? You can become 5 years better instead of 5 years older. You see, because if you gonna go through the next 5 years with the same excuses, with the same blame list, with the same procrastination that you had this 5 years, then you're gonna be 5 years older, nowhere near closer to the goal that you don't have. But if you choose to take responsibility for the space that you occupy, if you choose to become your greatest version, if you choose to be deliberate about your definite major purpose in life, the direction, if you choose to investigate the strategies for wealth and happiness, if you choose to implement some of these strategies, you'll experience an increased quality of life. You will experience an increased quality of life 100% of the time. All right? You see, because I know what I did 5 years ago. But 5 years was 2012. I know the strategies I know the strategies that I investigated. Right? I know the excuses. I know the blame list that I used to have. It used to be real long, and then I had to burn the blame list and put myself on it. Myself is the only thing on my blame list now. Myself is the only excuse that I have. All right? Myself is the only reason why I procrastinate. You see, I take full ownership of all my thoughts, all my faults, and all my transgressions. So since I've been implementing and engaging in some self-development, personal achievement strategies, my life 5 years ago is unrecognizable. You could watch a video from me 5 years ago, and I am unrecognizable today. Only reason you know it's the same person because I look the same. Except for I got hair, I got long hair now, and I got, facial hair and all that. Well, you could you could watch a video from me 5 years ago, 6 years ago, 7 years ago. You could see where my mind was at. You could see the direction of where my life was headed if I was going to keep doing those things. And then you could see the documented transition. You could see the changes that I made. And you could see the moments in time when I gave up the excuses. I gave up the good reasons. And I decided to make the rest of my life the best of my life. When I realized that someone's opinion of me doesn't have to be my reality. I began to investigate in some new strategies. I began to investigate in a new game plan. Which is why, that's why my 5 years from then is unrecognizable. And then 5 years from now will be unrecognizable from where I am today. Because I'm committed to personal growth. I'm committed to personal achievement. I'm committed to taking charge of my life. I'm committed to responsibility. I'm committed to the black woman and the black child. I'm committed to continuing to... Yo, what's up, baby? What'd you say? Alright, cool. So, now doesn't that sound more exciting? Doesn't that sound more exciting though? You feel me? Getting 5 years better instead of just 5 years older? Yeah, black power. Yeah, I hear you. I hear you, Kima. Black power. You know what it is. The power is yours. The power is yours. You got the power. The power is ours. The power is Baba's. Uh-oh. So listen. There are many who have little faith in their own ability. They ask themselves, what am I capable of doing? What can I do to make a difference in how my life turns out? Now, let me first give you the broad answer to these questions. You can do the most remarkable things, no matter what kind of winters life throws your way, no matter what type of obstacles are thrown your way. People can rise to unbelievable heights when called upon. A woman can lift a 2-ton car to save her child. A man survives starvation and disease in a concentration camp because he dreams of seeing his family again. Immigrants start their new lives by washing dishes, and within 5 years, by scrimping and saving, they are thriving business people. Remarkable. I've also found that kids can do remarkable things. I've also found that kids can do remarkable things. That is, if they have remarkable things to do. So just get them away from the TV and challenge their minds and their bodies, and they will grow into remarkable people. I've also discovered that if they don't have remarkable things to do, there's no telling what they'll do. But that's another matter. Human beings can do the most remarkable things because we are remarkable. We can turn nothing into something. We can turn pennies into fortune. We could turn disaster into triumph. Come on now. Accept the fact that you are remarkable. Thrive on your own uniqueness. Reach out and reach down inside of yourself and bring out more of your remarkable human gifts. They are there. They are there. They're waiting for you. Your remarkable gifts are there. They're waiting for you, family. It's King Leon X, man, the human liberator. I'm trying to tell you. I ain't know I have remarkable gifts inside of me. I didn't know that years ago. Someone had to tell me that someone's opinion of me doesn't have to be my reality. And once someone told me that, I was never the same. Once someone told me that it was possible for me to make my dreams come true. Once someone told me that if I'm not living out my own plan, if I don't have my own deliberate plan for life, then I'm living out someone else's. Once someone told me that I'm either working on my goals and dreams or on someone else's. Once someone told me that unless I take charge of my life, then I cannot complain, I cannot deflect. Once someone told me that they keep all the valuable things in the higher shelves, so they're out of reach for most people. So if you want the things on the higher shelves, you got to stand on the books you read. Once they told me that I got to stand on the books I read to reach on the higher shelves, then I guess what I started doing? I started picking up books. I started listening to audio books. I started attending lectures. I started attending seminars. I started investing money, time, information into my personal economic, social, and political philosophy, which is going to determine the direction of my life. Listen, self-imposed limitations. Listen. The only limitation you have is the one you set up in your own mind or you allow others to set up for you, family. Period. So you could go ahead and tell yourself you can't do this, and you could go ahead and tell yourself you can't do that, and I'm going to tell you that you're right. You are right. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. So you could go ahead and tell yourself that you can do this, and you can do that, and guess what? You are right. You feel me? It's King Leon next. This was episode goddamn 61. Episode 61, take charge of your life, make the choice, family. We don't have to live this lifestyle we choose to. We don't have to take advantage of the 24 hours in our day. We don't have to invest time, effort, money, and attention in determining the quality of our life and the direction of our life. We don't have to. I don't have to do this. I choose to. You feel me? I met Kima when she was 2 months. I don't even deal with her mom no more. I don't have to have her. I don't have to still have her. I choose to. I get to, matter of fact. I get to. You feel me? I didn't have to make her my daughter. I chose to. I get to. You feel me? I don't have to be there to shape her mind. I choose to. I get to. You know what I'm talking about? So this is me. Like, listen, I don't point no blame. I ain't making no deflections. It is what it is, man. This is life. This is life. It's serious business. It's spiritual and holy. I need you to understand your power and show me. Don't tell me, show me. This King Leon next to Human Liberator. This is episode 61 of Take Charge of Your Life. Self-imposed limitations is what we have to overcome. Procrastination, blaming, and excuses. If you could overcome procrastination, you could give up your blame list and stop making excuses, guarantee your life will be increased. Guarantee you'll wake up with more vigor and more vitality. Guarantee you'll have more fulfillment. Guarantee you'll have more purpose. Guarantee you'll have more direction. Guarantee you'll have more happiness and peace of mind. Guarantee. Once you turn back, once you start, you'll never go back. You never go back to the old ways of thinking, the old drift, the old neglect. I'm telling you, man. Take charge of your life. It's episode 61. It's King Leon next, the Human Liberator. Stay grateful.